So my name's Noel. This is my sister Josefina. She's Down syndrome, and we are both DACA recipients from Argentina. There are benefits that she does not qualify for because her social security card says for work authorization only. We can't do anything. We're still living paycheck to paycheck. I'm working and going to school. My dad's also working. It's a tough situation that we're in. Government can't help me out with financial aid. Government can't help her out get all the benefits that she deserves. Like, I don't care if I don't get financial aid. I care more about her getting the right treatments, the right benefits. But it's a part of our day-to-day life at this point.
One of my teachers, she recommended me to a program to become a nurse. But when they asked me for that social, I was not able to take it. I remember that I was so heartbroken because I remember that one time I told my counselor that I didn't have documents. And he said, "You're not going to be anybody. You're not going to be nothing. There's nothing out there for you." And I said, Simon, I said, he's wrong. I will show him that I'm somebody, that I'm going to be somebody. And when they gave me that scholarship, I thought that finally I had proven my point, but then I couldn't get it because I did not have those 9 digits.
I was 4 when I came to the United States, and I came with my brother and my mother, and we came to live with my grandmother. My brother, he wasn't taking it well, so my mom, she found it best for him to go back home. So he's 27 now. He's good. He has a wife and kids and everything, but he left when he was about 10. And I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him ever since. They're not allowing you to stay, but if you leave, you can't come back. So it's really hard. I'm excited that like when we get our papers and we go back home, I just want to hug my brother. Seriously, I want to meet my sister-in-law. I want to be an aunt, so yeah. I feel like I'm tearing up. I'm tearing up. Yeah, okay. I just feel like, I don't know him. So you have to like catch up. Yeah. I just want to sit down and talk, Mm-hmm.
People talk this whole like anti-blackness in the immigrant movement, which is legit. We kind of have to force ourselves to be spoken about. It's constantly, this is an issue for Latinx people. And then there's also within Black spaces or Black American spaces where it's like, well, no, we don't accept immigration isn't an issue for us, right? Yeah, it's definitely a racial justice issue. With the Muslim ban, majority of those countries of now, in whatever round of Muslim ban we're on, they're Black countries, African countries. And in fact, Black immigrants have a 3 times higher risk of being detained and deported than any other immigrants. So there's already that profiling first because of your color, and then as people dig deeper, it's like, oh, and you're an immigrant, so.
My father's a painter, so I've always been making art, but I started really being intentional about the art that I made this year. A lot of it is protest art about being queer, about being undocumented, about being brown, and then a lot of it is about my mental health, my depression, and my anxiety. I often find myself in an intersection of so many identities that has allowed me to be able to communicate with multiple people and bond with multiple people. My brain almost works that way always, where I'm like translating between cultures, and because I'm always stuck in between cultures, you know. And I think art is such a cool way for three things. Like, one, it's like art is a form of communication, and an image really communicates so well, and I sometimes have a hard time articulating what I feel, and especially when I'm in pain, I think it becomes easier for me to communicate through drawing, and it's so therapeutic. And two, representation matters so much, and being in a community of artists and like creating art that has brown people in it, queer people in it, undocumented people in it, it makes me feel good to like share that, and like hopefully have someone that is undocumented and younger see my art and be like, oh cool, like you're undocumented and queer and like all these things that like I am too, and that's what I always wanted. And lastly, it's cool to document the existence of undocumented people and queer people and Black and brown people, and I think I've been able to achieve all those things through my art, or like at least feel like I'm getting close to doing those things with my art. So it's felt very healing for me, and it's allowed me to meet a lot of really cool people and connect with different people.
Oh, are you shy? Are you shy? It's okay. Relax. Oh, there you go.
June 14th.
That's her birthday. Do you like your birthday? Nice.
And then like the day when, oh Lord, when Trump and his administration and talks about DACA, my mom texted me and she was like, you know, watch the news. And I found out that they had canceled it. And then in March is when we'll find out, us who already have it, what the decision will be, if they'll stop it, take it away, etc. If it expires, like I can't drive, my driver's license is expiring. It's based on my social, based on DACA. You know, I can't work. So, I mean, a lot of my life is based on DACA as of right now. So, you know, I'm grateful. I'm also like scared. I don't know.
I'm currently in a situation where if nothing changes, so if the DREAM Act does not pass and nothing like it does, then I actually cannot do residency. So I won't be able to go on to medical residency. So I would have spent 4 years at Brown Medical School, have graduated. I will have an MD next to my name, but I can't practice. So I think that's kind of like the biggest thing right now, which is why I mentioned also like being hopeful is a huge part of it, because I just took a test yesterday that I studied like, you know, days for, knowing that very well that could not matter, potentially. It all depends on like what Congress decides to do, right? It's out of my control, so I can study as hard as I want, and all I have is hope, essentially.
un alto en señal de solidaridad con este movimiento que ha crecido a través de los años para exigir la legalización de los inmigrantes indocumentados.
So pushing for a Clean Dream Act is important, but I think the crucial challenge is going to be what comes after that, because a Clean Dream Act is not particularly difficult to like advance, because it is, but it's not. The argument is it's fundamentally these are academically economically productive people, we have to provide them all this other stuff. So that's not that difficult. What is difficult is what comes after that. So for our parents and people who are not eligible for the Clean Dream Act, what are we going to do for them?
The day that we realize that we are 11 million, then maybe something will be accomplished.
We shouldn't neglect the fact that there's a whole 11 million people who are undocumented, that we focus so much on dreamers.
I feel strongly about not using the word dreamer as much as possible, just because it leaves certain people out of the narrative, and we're all equally hardworking, and so I think that it's important to really think about the meaning behind the word and the fact that it inherently implies that some people are more deserving than others.
I don't think that dreamers are more deserving than other immigrants. I just think that just because we can communicate and we have the language, which is what probably older people don't, I don't think that we're more deserving than others. I understand that maybe in the Americanized eyes we are, but I think every single immigrant is hardworking.
They care about the DACA students who are going to be doctors, lawyers, or are doctors and lawyers, but really we need everyone at all facets of American society, and we're all contributing.
The real dreamers are our parents, are the people who brought us here, people who've been surviving without anything for years.
What kind of parent would not do anything to keep their kids safe, right?
If it wouldn't be for them, there would be no us. If it wouldn't be for our parents that work 3-4 jobs, it wouldn't be us.
We do not want to come to this country. Do you think that people want to leave their home countries? No! People do not want to leave. I do not want to leave my family behind. I'm one of 14 cousins. I miss them every single day. I think about my family every single day. And the fact that I haven't been able to see them in over 14 years, that my mom has watched her parents, aunts and uncles die through Skype, has watched it. Has watched funerals through Skype. Has been here hopeless without being able to do anything. Meanwhile, we're here supporting dreamers only because we're powerful, because we are more American. No, I'm saying no to this narrative, and I'm saying all the 11 million undocumented immigrants deserve protection, and I'm saying to the American public to please advocate for all of us.
I'm just one of 11.5 million, but I'm also not, because obviously when you think about the number 11.5 million, it's baffling because it's the populations of New York City and LA combined. So if you think about how many people that is and how reductive it is to say all undocumented people are this way, it doesn't even make sense to me, because you would never think about doing that with New York City. You wouldn't ever say, oh, all New Yorkers are like criminals, or all New Yorkers, because that's just false. You know what I mean? And there's so much diversity and contradictions present for example, in the city of New York, because that's just what happens when you bring so many people together. So similarly, undocumented people are all over the country, and they are all different races and ethnicities, and social backgrounds, and yeah, it's just confusing to me because you wouldn't say that about a city. So why would you say that about undocumented people? Other than the fact that people use the word undocumented to describe us, I think there are no other characteristics that are shared by all undocumented immigrants, other than the fact that we're human, which is what everyone seems to forget. Yeah.